Hi, I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is a Marshall Minute Brampton Now update. As of March 20th, 2020, a COVID-19 special report for Brampton. Now, let me tell you what I hope to do with this report. In this update, I'm going to pass on the latest information for Brampton with respect to the response. I'm trying to put as much Brampton-based information together in one place in this report. Unlike any other city our size, Brampton has no broadcast media outlets. I hope to fill that gap in some measure with this report and any that follow. I'm not a government official. I do not work for a news organization. But I will commit to bringing you only factual information, and I will focus on Brampton, though I may talk about the broader response elsewhere in the world. It may be comforting for some to know that it's the same everywhere. People are going through the same things. It's perhaps knowing more about that, I think, that helps us feel in this together. There will be facts, but there will also be some things to make you smile, and maybe one or two to move you. Plus, in this report, a song. No, not me singing. I don't want to drive you away. Someone else. Someone really talented, actually. Stay tuned and find out. All right, let's get started. First, the good news. It's spring. Okay, that's the good news looked after. I'm only kidding, but I mean, you gotta laugh, right? On Monday, March 16th, the United Nations announced that there were now 777 million kids out of school around the world due to COVID-19 response. Tuesday, March 17th, Premier Doug Ford announces the declaration of an emergency with respect to COVID-19, shutting down most things that hadn't already been shut down. On that score, Brampton City Council welcomed the declaration and further suggested that the Premier shut down malls. Of course, most everything is closed. Grocery and drug stores do and will continue to remain open. The basic supplies will always be available according to the authorities. But that doesn't mean some planning to reduce trips to the store might not be in order. Know what you need and try to do as few stops as possible. Use self-checkout. Wash your hands often. And maybe now is the time to think about that survival kit that every home should have anyway. Toilet paper? I couldn't figure that out. But it is good to have some bottled water on hand. Authorities recommend a minimum of 2 liters per person, plus an extra 2 liters for washing and cleaning per day. By this weekend, the border will close. In the U.S., New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo was calling for activation of the United States Army Corps of Engineers to help build more hospital space by converting public buildings in New York State. The Corps of Engineers is one of the biggest engineering outfits in the world, but needs to be activated by the U.S. Feds. Since then, the U.S. Navy has announced that they're sailing a hospital ship to New York and another to the U.S. West Coast to wait for deployment. It's the same everywhere. My friend Peter Rakwoche, host of Focus on Africa on BBC World News, shared this video of the train ride into London, where things continue at BBC New Broadcasting House, but clearly not many other places in the British capital. Here in Brampton, what I'm calling the Brampton Method is taking off, and I thank Jatvinder Sodhi and his Facebook group for suggesting this. Namaste is quite sanitary, not unlike, that dirty old handshake or even the foot bump. Try it yourself and let's export it. The Brampton Method. Namaste. On a more serious note, the City of Brampton has now activated the emergency plan for the city and have activated the city's Emergency Operations Center. This is an overall incident command center that the city has to manage major emergencies. The Peel Region Emergency Operations Center is also live. It may help you to know that Brampton has something of a rock star in the city's emergency manager. Alain Normand has been with the city for a quarter century, And in emergency planning circles, you go to conferences to hear him speak. I hope to have more on him in upcoming updates. But rest assured, Brampton has one of the finest emergency managers on the planet, and he's been with Brampton over 25 years. Mayor Patrick Brown did a telephone town hall on Wednesday this week. Knowing Patrick, I expect that he will be doing more of these kinds of engagements on a regular basis. If you're a Brampton resident and you're not connected with Mayor Brown on social media, now would be a very good time. He's very active on Facebook and Twitter and also on Instagram, and I believe he is doing daily video updates on all his social media channels. Brampton Member of Parliament Kamal Kara is also a registered nurse. She has registered for call-up in case nurses are needed as part of the emergency response. People like retired nurses and doctors are being asked to reactivate and to be available. Regen Brampton, which provides meals and a food bank, has made some adjustments to their service. They're now on takeout only. They will host a food bank at the Regen Thrift Store, 253 Queen East, west of Rutherford, Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. This is an emergency food bank. They will take your food bank donations there also from Wednesday through Saturday. All this happens at the second door at the Regen Thrift Store, which is the old Sears outlet store, you will remember. Knight's Table, which serves dinners, has moved to a takeout model only as well. The Region of Peel has set up a website with the latest information for food banks at peelregion.ca/foodmaps, and you can also call 211 for that information. Here's what the CEO of Regen, Ted Brown, was telling me. There will be lots of worthy causes come forward looking for your donations, but it's the organizations like Regen and Knight's Table, Siva Food Bank, and so many others who provide the basics every day that will have growing demand. So the point being, please don't forget about groups like those above, who are the bedrock foundation of helping vulnerable people in Brampton. These are the groups that truly help those who need it the most. BBC reporting this week on the particularly Canadian response to the crisis, with caremongering groups popping up across the land. The link to that story is below. Culsa Aid Canada is offering to help out seniors with things like groceries. Culsa Aid is a Sikh organization that does incredible relief work around the world as part of a caremongering movement inspired by their founding guru. The William Osler Health System has a COVID-19 assessment site at the Peel Memorial 20 Lynch Street location. However, do not just go there, please. Check hospital system website at www.williamoslerhs.ca. Call Telehealth Ontario or speak to your own doctor first. Clearly, from news reports, tests are still being rationed. You can't just go and demand a test. That won't happen. You have to fit the criteria. But that changes too as more tests become available. Brampton lawyer Wes Jackson, whose practice does a lot of real estate transactions, warns that possible changes to bank hours may delay transactions. So if you're buying or selling a house, you should probably chat with your lawyer about that and any other ramifications of what's going on. Brampton's Festival of Literary Diversity, Fold, announced their move to a virtual festival. That's coming up at the end of April. They're at foldcanada.org. My pal Michael Jovey, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club of Peel, is posting regular information on programs that families can turn to for help, as all the Boys and Girls Club physical programs are shut down just now.
So as we continue to hear information coming down from our federal government, our provincial government, and our municipals, we want to make sure that we're providing you with the most up-to-date information that we can and access to these links. If you go on our social media, our Facebook page, our Twitter accounts, and even our Instagram accounts, we will have up-to-date information not only on the resources that you can apply for to help yourselves and your families and your businesses during this time, but also some tips on how to stay safe, how to keep family members safe, making sure that when we're out in your community, obviously in very limited timing, being able to check in on those neighbors of yours that are seniors or may have some disabilities. Again, we're in this all together. it's up to us to make sure that we come out better for it on the other side. It is going to be a bit of a long road, longer than we anticipated, but please know that your Boys and Girls Club of Peel staff are working hard to make sure that you have access to your resources.
One of the biggest questions on minds across the country is how to apply for the federal benefit. The link for that is in the comments down below. How long this will go on for is a question a lot of people have. The Technology Review of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology looks into that in an article that proposes we may have to practice social distancing for some time, maybe even going into years. That's a sobering thought. The piece titled, "We're Not Going Back to Normal," is at the link below. Jamie Holtom, minister of North Bramalea United Church and a former Brampton Citizen of the Year, suggests virtual coffee breaks. Get together with friends over coffee, over Skype, FaceTime, or another video call app. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who plays Appa on Kim's Convenience, offered encouragement from both himself and Appa on his Instagram channel.
Hey everyone, it's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee here. I play Appa on Kim's Convenience. And I just wanted to send out a quick message of reassurance to a lot of people out there. I know I'm seeing and I'm hearing online that people are anxious, they're a little bit scared. And I just want to send you a message of reassurance that, we're doing the right thing. We're practicing social distancing, which I think is a great idea to try to limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Basically, what we're trying to do by keeping our distance from each other is to give our health services a chance to combat this virus and not overwhelm them with all these cases. And we do that by basically staying away from each other. I know it can be hard. I know it's a little bit stressful, but really you should look at it as doing our part to help the greater good. And as Appa would say, yeah, don't have to worry. Light is still on, water is still running, toilet is still fresh. That's a big deal. Not so much toilet paper because everyone is hoarding, but that's why we have a shower. Yeah.
Brampton's Alicia Cara was silly on her Instagram feed, clearly going a little stir-crazy, making purses from tangerines. Have a look.
Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own tangerine purse, because I just, felt bad to make everybody pay $3,000. I just felt like it just wasn't fair. So what you're going to do is take a piece of tangerine and just bite into the top. Like that, and then just pull, and then you'll have your very own little purse. You can put anything in here that's like this small, a little grain of rice for a snack, or one AirPod.
Facebook Live concerts have become a thing, with Canadian performers using #CanadaPerforms. Jim Cuddy was the first this week, performing Thursday with his sons. There are lots more in the works. I've heard this a dozen times now, but it bears repeating. We are all in this together. We are. Think about it now. For the first time in human history, all of humanity is fighting a common foe. All of us. In every corner of the globe. This is a time for humanity to be the best it can be, not the worst. Be kind. Look out for one another. Lots of top social media personalities are using their channels to tell the world about how they're making the best of it, and we're all in this together. So things are not much different at your house than they are, say, at Pink's house, for example. The one-time rebel chick of pop music is a really active mom on Instagram these days. Where she parts from the rest of us is that if she shares some practice at the piano, it's Pink sharing practice at the piano.
Okay, I've decided to learn the piano once and for all. We'll see.
So I leave you with Pink. Something totally fitting for these times, I think. Let me know what you think of this report and what you'd like to see in future reports. Stay strong, Brampton strong, and Brampton proud. Take care of yourself and everyone around you. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I know that from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret, the winds have changed, my blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I would not do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love. One song, kind of.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.